Hi, I'm Liz and I'm here today with Kathy Lette. Ta-da! And Kathy is not only my big sister, she's also an accomplished author. She's written 14 novels that have been translated into 17 languages.
And we're here today having a walk in the bush because whenever I come back from England, we like to have a walk and a talk and catch up. And this is one of our favourite walks. This is in the Royal National Park. And we're heading down towards the Honeymoon Stairs. And it's our way of getting reconnected. And today we're going to share some of that, some of that intimate sister chat with you.
So welcome to the walking shtick. So you're a Sydney girl, born and bred. What was it like?
Inbred.
What was it like growing up in the Sutherland Shire?
Well, we had an idyllic childhood, didn't we?
We did.
And I always say to Mum and Dad, couldn't you have just brought me up more miserably and been more horrible to me because I'm a writer? I've got nothing to write about. Now I'm going to sue them for bringing me up too well. And really, we just ran wild, didn't we? We used to go out on the bush every day. We'd have breakfast, get out, put our food in our back, and then off we go all day. No supervision, nothing. And then at night, you'd suddenly hear a parent going, coo-ee! And that was our time to come back. And remember, we'd be covered in mud. And Dad had come down and just hose us down.
So we had to be mud-free before we went into the house.
Oh, that's right. But it was so free and so fabulous. And we were so lucky. Yeah. And then we'd go surfing, we'd be at the beach, or we'd be in the bush, or we'd be riding our bikes, or I had a horse for a while. So it was really magical.
Yeah. And no mobile phones.
No mobile phones. So our parents never knew what we were really getting up to. I know. In fact, when Puberty Blues, this TV series, came out recently, I thought the main demographic of people watching that would be my generation being nostalgic, or I thought it would be our parents' generation going, what were they really getting up to? But it was actually teenage kids. And mainly because the same issues are still so important now. It's still so relevant to them. The pregnancy, school, peer pressure, etc. But what they really loved was the fact that we were free range. Right. There was no supervision.
Carefree.
The parents were drunk anyway, driving drunk, And it was they can't believe how unsupervised we were.
Yeah, so. No helicopter parenting.
No, that's right.
Kath, when you're in Sydney, we always get into the bush, we go and walk in the Royal National Park. What do you think's important about, and what do you like about getting back into nature?
I think it puts everything in perspective. When you're sort of working and mothering, it's very myopic. And then when you get out into the bush, you realise what a small speck you are in the scheme of things. And it's very, very good for your mental health, I think, to keep that in perspective. So I think that's what I love. And I love the smell. And I just love the shape of the trees, especially here. The trees look like they look like they're dancing. These beautiful, are they angophorus?
They're Sydney red gums, angophorus.
And the way they look like they've got their arms up in celebration, and it's like flesh. They're very fleshy trees. I find it very sensuous. I also love at the end of the day when it's a hot summer's day, and then when the evening's coming in, it's like the whole bush sort of sighs, and it goes all soft and beautiful. It's magical.
What are some of your favourite walks in the Royal?
Oh, well, this walk here, the Honeymoon Stairs, we do all the time because it's very easy for us. And it's beautiful. And the great thing about that walk is that the honeymooners would come in to
Audley. Yeah, you're right.
To Audley Station. And allegedly, the groom would carry the bride down the stairs to the little guest house down there. But it was also, the stairs were built during the Depression when, times were so tough. And people made little homes down there in the caves. So it's got a really sort of poignant backstory as well. And we have all our family barbecues down there. I mean, the great thing about Australia, all these free barbecues everywhere you go. Free gas. I mean, it's just so egalitarian. So we have all our parties down there on the Audley by the river. It's a really special place for our family, yeah.
And there's also coffee down the bottom.
Oh yeah, that's the other great thing. We try to plan our walks where there's a really great coffee shop with some carrot cake at the end. So yeah.
So you live a long way from Sydney now, Kath.
Yes.
What do you really miss about home?
Well,
apart from me, of course.
well, no, but that is absolutely true. I mean, my mother gave me the best gift imaginable, 3 sensational sisters. And we're so close, the 4 of us, aren't we? There's a lot of teasing and a lot of banter and a lot of fun and frivolity. But also, I just love Australian women. I mean, I think Australian women are the world's best kept secret. Fun, feisty, fiercely loyal.
Correct,
you know,
absolutely.
and just fabulous. And I really, really miss that earthy, pithy girl talk. You just can't. I've never found that camaraderie and sense of sisterly solidarity anywhere else in the world where I've lived. And you know, I always say that Australian women are each other's human wonder bras, uplifting, supportive, and making each other look bigger and better. And Liz is my main wonder bra. Well, all my sisters, we are each other's wonder bras.
We are, absolutely.
So I really miss that. I also miss the Australian sense of humour, because I think one of the great things about Australians is that we have chronic skepticism. We're sceptical about everything, but we're not cynical. You know, we don't think optimism is an eye disease. So it's a lovely, lovely mix.
Yeah.
And nor do we have an irony deficiency. We do find irony in everything. So that combination is absolutely irresistible.
So, Kath, this is one of my favourite things to ask you. What advice would you give your teenage self, given that you're a pretty out there kind of teenager?
I mean, poor mum. I feel so sorry for her, like Attila the teen, really terrible. But my main advice to my teenage self, what would it be? Well, wear sunblock, you idiot, because you could, look at us. You could play join the dots without sunspots, and what it would say was, you know,
wear sunscreen.
Yeah, exactly. So it would be that. But it would also be, we were too in awe of the boys. You know, girls were really second-class citizens, and we were kind of human handbags draped over the arms of these surfy dudes. And we were like a life support system to a pair of breasts. So what I would say to my teenage self is to stand on my own 2 stilettos, or my own 2 thongs, and, you know, not wait to be rescued by a knight in shining Armani, but to find your own way in the world. And when I give talks in schools now, which I do a lot to younger women, I always say to them, yes, men are physically stronger, but women are more verbally dexterous. We use about 450 more words in our daily vocabulary. So, right. You know, while Maddie and Georgie and Cassie and, you know, all my nieces, when they're getting ready to go out and putting their lashes on and their makeup and their lipstick, I'm like, you're underdressed unless you tuck a couple of one-liners up your trouser leg. Because if you happen to be in a bad situation where there's a bully and a misogynist who's trying to put you down, you can take him out with a great one-liner. You take away all his power. So I call it the black belt in Tung Fu, and I call it quiplash. And if you can give a bit of quiplash, it can really, really save you. And it's a great skill that women have. So.
Well, you've definitely got it.
Well, our lips lose weight the amount of talking we do in the Lette family. What can I say?
Actually, people say to me, what was your childhood like? And I always say noisy.
Loud.
There was 4 girls growing up in the house. So,
our lovely dad, who's sadly passed on, but his name was Merv, and he worked in optic fibre. We called him Optic Merv. And he was a very well-known footballer in the Bulldogs. He was one of at the time, the fastest front row forward in Australian history. And all he wanted was 4 sons, and he got 4 girls. And he wanted to train us in rugby, but of course, I think we've got some of his skills in that I like a verbal scrum, you know, and we're good at tackling verbally. Like if anyone needs to be put in their place, we can take them down. So we have got a bit of Merv skill.
And
there.
he also introduced us to beer.
Well,
we actually all like beer on a hot day.
Well, he used to brew his own beer, but occasionally it would explode in the garage. So yes, I think we got from our mother a love of books and literature and language, but we got from Dad, who was, you know, of Celtic origin, that very dry sense of humour. It's drier than an AA clinic, and that lovely, colourful way with words and vernacular. So it's a really nice combination.
Yeah, and Dad was an engineer, so we're never late to anything because we're always so punctual.
That's right.
So, Kath, you're here today as part of the walking shtick.
Great title, by the way. Love it. It's a pun. I love puns. I'm actually really jealous that I didn't come up with that myself. The walking shtick. Fabulous.
What do you think's your best shtick?
Well, my shtick is the way I write, my novels. And what I try and do is my novels are funny feminist fiction, because I think if you can disarm with charm, you've got a much better chance of getting your message in. So even though all my books celebrate women because I'm a passionate feminist, I try and do it in a way that will also convert chauvinists. And if you can make them laugh, it's sugarcoating the medicine. So I guess that is my shtick. Funny feminism and celebrating the sisterhood. And how great that I've got my lovely sister here, the sisterhood literally.
That's right.
And I adore her. And now I'm going to ask her some curly questions.